G'day guys, Cam back here in the Battler workshop and welcome. Well, I've got 1,001 things on the go around here in the workshop and not enough time to finish anything. And I guess that's the way of life these days. Just a quick update on the Foundry Shed. That's the old brick garden shed that I'm remodelling into a Foundry Shed. We've had 6 weekends of howling wind and rain, and to get outside and do anything on that Foundry Shed, let alone get a roof on it, has been near impossible. And this weekend we finally got the break. So for 2 days straight, the roof and the flashing and the ridge capping all went up. As a matter of fact, I had to finish that off in between rain showers. But we got there and it's finished off. So I'm very, very happy to see that. And I've now got a semi-waterproof shed. Still a lot more to go, but looking forward to actually starting to make some progress and not have to rely so much on the weather. So this is just a very, very quick update, as I said, to show you where we're at with that. And next little video I've got, I'm doing a rebuild on my old furnace at the moment. So we'll do a quick video on that one as well and show you where we're at. And the little job that I want to do on that, which involves the Victor lathe. Alright guys, enjoy the vid and we'll catch up with you soon. Cheers for now. Alright, we're inside the shed, which has now got a roof on it, and I've been waiting, I reckon, 6 weeks with the rain and wind we've had. I just haven't had a chance or an opportunity on the weekends to try and get this done. So we've got the silver foil on for the moisture barrier and also for insulation. On top of that we've got the corrugated roof, all the flashings on, and the ridge capping's all done as well. I'm just trying to think what I was up to last time, but I don't think we had the uplift brackets on, so I've got these uplift brackets now mounted in. And the primary purpose is to prevent the roof from lifting off, or the roof structure from lifting off, so it's held down by the bricks. I'll show an example of that when I built my veranda. The other side's obviously fitted into the ground, into the concrete, so it's not going to lift up either. The other thing I did too, you can just see up there hopefully, is where I've had to shorten the door height slightly so that it didn't run into the brackets and gussets on the columns. So it opens just past 90 degrees before it hits, whereas when it was up the top you couldn't open it at all, so that's come up quite nice as well. So it's nice to finally have a roof on this shed, and I'm going to call it a hot work shed because I'll set up here for my foundry work and also for doing welding and grinding, all those dirty type things. Well, let's go to the back of the side of my block and we'll have a look and see if we can see the roof. Alright, so I'm probably going to get blown out by the wind here, but there's the roof with the flashing and the ridging on top. Gutters are all in, you can see the stormwater's all done. It's done on both sides. And you can see the flashing up against my existing workshop. Right, so some of the flashing does have to have some fairly weird types of cutouts in it. And that's because the two roof pitches of my shed and the Foundry Shed don't meet. They're an offset type arrangement, so unfortunately we've got to do some fairly weird cutouts to be able to get this flashing to fit up and seal against the weather. I'm probably going to get blown by the wind here, but just to show you how the different ridge lines meet up differently between the Foundry Shed and my workshop, and you can see how that's all cut in. I've got a lap joint just here to cover over. I'll just pin that down. You can see how the joint's nice. And then I've got the ridge capping that'll go all the way through to the other side. So I reckon if you get leaks, and I've put a few sheds up in my time, if you get the leaks, it always seems to be around the flashing. So take your time, work out your geometry to get the flashing worked out right. Obviously this flashing here is going to sit up inside the existing shed flashing and it just gets pinned down along the roof all the way down. And that's the flashing that's on the other side, and once again that'll have the ridge capping going right up and over it. You can see that little lap joint there. Just adds to the seal, I think. Just makes it a little bit more waterproof. Alright, so that's all the flashing pinned down now. Oh, Mr. Screw there, I better put that in. So I'm really happy with that. I'm not going to pin it down into the roof. I want to keep this shed separate from my workshop. So if there's any movement between, lateral movement between, it's not going to rip out the flashing, and I can deal with what I need to deal with if it does move. Right, so just got the ridge capping going now. That finished off. And just up inside, I did put eaves up to prevent the birds getting in. So I've got that on this side. And I've got eaves up on the north side, which all came up very, very nicely. Right, next job is I'm going to make up some, or going to get made up for me, folded up some U-shaped 3mm plate to go around the edges of the brickwork on the north side door and also on the south side door. And then I'm going to put blue board up inside because, as I did mention in the previous video, that this shed has dropped about 2.5 inches, around about 60-70mm to one side. So you see the cut, it's not square to the brickwork, although it is a nice perpendicular cut. Same on that side as well. So I'll put blue board in on both walls, and I'm also going to put blue board in on the outer walls as well, just to hide that brick course anomaly that I've got. You can see, as I showed in the last video there, the tapered beams that I had to make up to accommodate for the taper or the drop in the shed to keep everything square and level. Alright, that'll do it for this video. When I come back, hopefully I'm a little bit further on with the walls, doors, and I'm still working on what I'm going to do here on the floor. I'm thinking of putting some compacted recycled concrete down and using some of those big 1/2 metre by 1/2 metre concrete tiles that are about 40mm thick, and putting that on the floor. As the other option is to go ahead and pour a concrete floor, but I do have this dirty great big saw cut that I put through when I was going to remove that part of the shed when I was put up my new shed, but it ended up being about 1/2 metre thick on the slab, and it's over 800mm thick on the strip footings that come around the outside, which is absolutely crazy. So when I did slip this, it got the bobcat in, he didn't have a hope at all of trying to lift it out. It was still all intact, but over the years it has moved and opened up. So I have to think about what I do with the floor. And then outside here, it's quite this will be a storage area outside here, so once again I'll get this all paved through here as well and store stuff outside. Alright, that'll do this for that'll do it for this update, and we'll keep you up to date on how we go with the progress anyway. Alright guys, I'll see you soon.